What's going on, folks? Hello. Mm. What's going on? Nicole Short coming. Oh my goodness, you did it before I set up my stuff. Nicole Short, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I was gonna throw it on the screen, like start the day out, and I jacked it up. Thank you so much, Nicole. I really, really appreciate that. That is a great start to the day, and it's a great start to the live. Thank you so much. But I can't pull that. Can I pull that chat? I don't think I can do that. That sucks. Oh god, I need to clear all this stuff. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Ugh. All right. Cool. What's going on, y'all? Now that we actually have some people in here, can we get big W's in the chat for Nicole for becoming a new, first member of the day? I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'll actually have some people here. I didn't. She did it so quickly. I did not want to feel like there wasn't enough W's to go around yet. There's Nicole. There's Nicole. There she is. Ugh. Ugh. Do you think Interpol is investigating escalator gate? That's funny. VJ, Nicole's in the other chat. Nicole's in the other chat. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome to Polly's very late starting live on Wednesdays. Very, very late. But, hey, dad duty calls, right? Dad duty calls, all right? As much as I love y'all, dad duty comes first, all right? So I'm late every Wednesday, and I will. Well, actually, next week I won't be late. Funny enough, I was gonna say I'll be late next Wednesday too, but like I won't actually. I actually will be. No, actually, I will be late. Never mind. I will be late. Yes, I will be late. I definitely will be late. So I forgot that she actually doesn't have practice next Wednesday, but then I forgot I'm still going to play with her next Wednesday. So we're still going to get a match in. So getting better at, I am getting, for someone who's never had a lesson and never been taught anything about tennis, I am getting very good. Okay. For somebody who has no idea what he's doing, and I mean zero. All right, I do pretty well. Yeah. Yo, 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 yo. Hello, hello. Big W's in the chat for Feisty with the 5 gifted memberships. I see all those people that just got them too. I see Coco, Aiden, Paul, Beans, Tracy. I see everybody over there in the horizontal live that got those memberships. Big W's in the chat for Feisty, and an extra big W if you just got one from Feisty. 100%. I can't play tennis because I treat it like a baseball. No, you have to treat it more like a ping pong paddle. Funny enough, that's the way I kind of figured it out. You have to treat it more like a ping pong paddle. You got to get the motion. You know what I'm saying? Tara, thank you so much for the money gun. I appreciate that. Thank you. Ugh. Real men play badminton. I'm sure they do. I don't even. That's the one with the ball with the thingies on it, right? That like it like floats up in the air. It's like something like that. It's called the shuttlecock. I feel like you're lying to me. I feel like you guys are lying to me. I feel like you're saying that to you're saying you guys got me. You guys got me. You guys got me. All right. You guys got me to say it. All right. Ha ha ha. Jokes on Polly. All right. You guys got me to say the funny word. That's what everyone's telling me. It's actually what it's called. Maybe that's why real men play it. That's why real men play it, because that's what it's called. That actually checks. Real men of genius. Mr. Way Too Much Cologne Wearer. Corey, yes, Corey, you would. Yes, 100% you would. All right, I'm gonna look it up. I don't believe y'all. Yep, that's sure what it's called. Also called a birdie or a shuttle or ball, is a high jag projectile used in the sport of badminton. I'm not a big fan of them calling it a projectile. I know that's technically probably not wrong, but I'm also still not okay with it. Okay? I know it's technically probably not wrong, but I'm not going to call it that. Okay? I just don't like it being called that. In an open conical shape formed by feathers or a synthetic material such as plastic, ebbed in a round cork or rubber base. See, there you go. Now you guys are all educated in the sport of badminton that I know nothing about. So that's pretty cool. People have asked, "Oh, what do you feel about pickleball?" Pickleball is fine. I've played pickleball. It's fun. I've enjoyed it. But my daughter plays tennis, not pickleball. And if you're curious which one is harder, it's tennis. It's not close. Okay? This whole not even in the ballpark. Okay? Pickleball is stand-up ping pong. Okay? And it's fun. It's fun. Didn't say it wasn't fun. It's fun. It's stand-up ping pong. Okay?
It's insane.
Tennis is an insane sport. Is ping pong sit down in comparison? Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. It's ping pong for people who want to feel athletic. I had never played pickleball ever in my life, and I bought a paddle and had some guys at the course teach me in about 20 minutes, and I was winning matches within an hour. Okay? That is how my pickleball experience went. Have you seen professional ping pong? You're right. That is actually a good point, that professional ping pong is actually more athletic than pickleball. You are absolutely right. The people playing professional ping pong are actually doing a whole lot more than people playing pickleball. Even professional pickleball. Even when you watch like the pros or whatever, the ping pong guys are still doing more. The dudes that are like 20 feet back from the table and they're just like, just saying. It's wild. All right, y'all, welcome on in. Welcome on in. We're getting this thing started, just letting this thing load up and getting people in here. As per usual, we're about to start taking some phone calls and getting this thing started. So really appreciate you guys all being here. What time is it? I guess I've delayed long enough. Rad Storm, can we get a big W chat for the first super chat of the day? It says for the $2 super chat, it says, tittle is the dot above a lowercase I or J. There you go. We're learning all sorts of new stuff today. We're learning all sorts of new stuff today. Thank you so much, Rad Storm. And Jay Lee with the $10 super chat says, Master of Mass Distraction. Do any speeches today? I did not watch any of his speeches today. I literally have been busy from the time I woke up this morning very early to right now. I haven't got a chance to watch any of his. I haven't even gotten a chance to catch up on like all the news for the day, to be completely honest with you. But big W's chat for Jay Lee for the super chat. I really appreciate that. If y'all would like to support the live, of course I do have super chats and all that fun stuff. So thank you guys so much for being here. And of course, memberships. Like Feisty has already sent out 5 memberships today. Let's see if we can get that thing up to 10 before we're out of this thing today. I really appreciate you guys. We're gonna get this thing moving, get this thing going. We'll see how much tolerance I have for BS today. I am pretty tired, so we'll see how much tolerance I have today. I don't know. My tolerance sometimes when I'm really tired, my tolerance is actually really high. Sometimes it's really low. I just never really know. We'll just see how it goes. The phone lines are open. Let's do this. Hello, how are you?
How's it going?
It's going great. How old are you?
31.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do still support Trump.
I've talked to you before.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, I have.
Do you want to know why I still support Trump? You're gonna laugh.
No. Have I talked to you or no?
No, I've never talked to you before.
Oh, I don't believe you. Hello, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
I am 21 years old.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I would say I would vote for him again.
Okay. So is that a yes, you still support him?
I mean, it's hard to support someone I don't really know that well. Because it's hard to defend a lot of the actions that he has taken.
If it's hard to defend a lot of the actions he's taken, why would you vote for him again?
Yeah, that's a great question. So 3 reasons. One, I think the Conservative Party tends to be right when it comes to policies. Two, I think that
I'm sorry, how is Donald Trump a conservative?
yeah, so he's on the Republican ticket,
So
and yeah,
what is
so
that?
he
No,
wins
that
the-
doesn't answer my question.
It's insane.
Being on the
how is
Republican
he a-
ticket doesn't make you a conservative.
Okay, so what do you think Trump is?
Well, personally, I think he's a fascist and a disruptor.
Oh, that's not a political party.
It's a political ideology. Just like
Okay.
liberal is not a political party and conservative is not a political party. It's a political ideology.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And I mean, I don't want to get too caught up in definitions. I think at the end of the day, when you see that Trump has been trying to secure the border, when you see that he is not wanting to ban all guns, standing up for the Second Amendment, standing up for free speech, which I'll probably agree with you when it comes to free speech in the last few weeks.
In the last few weeks, you
on-
mean ever? Donald Trump has never been a defender of free speech. Ever.
You don't think so?
Of course he hasn't. Donald Trump has been a defender of his free speech. And no one else's.
Well, last few weeks, I may have to agree with you there. And
It's not the last few
that's
weeks, sir. This is just the most obvious point of it. But he's never been for free speech. He has been for
Yeah.
my free speech. I want to be able to say whatever I want to say, and I want the people that think like me to be able to think exactly the same way that I think. But I don't want anybody that disagrees with me to be able to say what they think. That's not free speech. Donald Trump specifically said, like, he's on interview saying, I've always had a very thin skin, okay, and I don't like people saying anything bad about me.
Yeah, but you cannot like people saying bad things about you and be pro free speech.
Except for he's not, because again, he actually had threats from the FCC on freaking free speech he didn't like in his first term.
Yeah.
So you
let's
so you
go
saying
through
you vote for
some
him because of
policies.
free speech is a joke.
Well, no, I think the reason I would vote for him is more so that I don't think the Democrats will protect free speech the same way. So it's
I hope
due
not.
to more of a lack of trust.
I hope the Democrats wouldn't do it the same way because
Well-
Donald Trump is doing it the exact opposite of protecting free speach.
Yeah. So walking. through
I'm
some
sorry.
things that
Let me ask
he's
you a
done.
question. What governmental power did the Biden administration use to restrict free speech?
I would say that in general, the left has had this empire, right?
Hold on.
Disney, on
I'm not
Facebook.
talking about in general the left. I asked Joe Biden.
Okay. Well,
What has he done to restrict free speech?
I think when you're in a two-party system, a vote for a Democratic candidate tends to align with the voters' beliefs that elected him in the primary.
Gotcha. So
Right.
you just are not answering the question at all.
Well, your question is like, what did Biden?
No, you said
do?
you would vote for Donald Trump again. I can give you multiple examples right now, and it sounds like you can give multiple examples of how Donald Trump is currently restricting free speech. Okay? How he's currently doing it. Okay? He's already been sued for it, lost in court for doing it. Now he's having people removed using his powers with the FCC in order to restrict other people's free speech, right? He's had people's visas denied over accessing their free speech. He's said he's going to make laws restricting free speech. Okay. So if Donald Trump is doing that right now, and you're saying that he is somehow better for free speech than the left, then I am going to look at the last president that would be considered on the left, even though he wasn't really on the left. He was more center, right? And I'm going to ask you what he did to restrict free speech. And I'm hoping you can answer the question directly.
Who are we talking about?
Joe
Trump
Biden.
Okay. And what has he done to censor free speech?
Yes. What has he done to restrict free speech?
I would just have to say the party, just the way he aligns.
Sir, if it's nothing, then just say
scared that
nothing.
he would-
Stop trying to move it to the party. If you don't have anything for Joe Biden, just say nothing. That way we can move on with the conversation.
Well, I mean, it's probably something I'd have to research more.
Okay, so you have
But
done no research on this whatsoever, and you're just
okay,
assuming it.
well,
Okay, so let me ask you a question. The next question I was trying to ask you was, what did Obama do to restrict free speech?
right. So, would you say that there has been um, censorship on the right on platforms like YouTube, um,
Of course, there has been.
Facebook, up until now, Twitter?
Of course, there has.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm the point that I'm getting at is that the platform of the left is really against hate speech, which I mean can be fair, right? I mean, if speech is going to create violence, kind of like yelling fire
Sure. That's
and
not a leftist policy. That's against the law.
um
That's not a leftist policy. That is the law in the United States that you can't freaking yell fire in a crowded movie theater. That's not a left or right thing.
yes,
That is
you're
against
right.
the law.
I'm just giving the argument that people on the left would give regarding hate speech. So I guess it's a loose term that I think um, that I would be scared of electing a Democratic president. Um, so they may define it differently than I'd like.
But they did define
Um,
it differently, sir. And they defined it as you have the right
well,
to free speech. Hold on, sir. They defined it as you have the right to free speech. And the right has defined it as you only have the right to free speech if I like your speech. So you're making this hypothetical up in your head. Okay. And you're trying to create this hypothetical in which makes sense, in which the left is doing something. I'm asking you for real world things that are happening right now.
yeah, okay.
Okay. And what is
So
happening right now
before
is the
Trump,
right is limiting your free speech, and you cannot give me a single example on how the left is. Okay. And and I don't want
yeah,
to sit here and just ruminate in this whole like, oh, well, maybe, or oh, they might do it. Like, that's just ridiculous, dude. The
yeah, okay.
right,
So
the left
January
encouraged,
20th, 2020.
yeah, the left encouraged your free speech, and the right is taking it away. That is what is
Well,
going on.
then why would Trump have to sign January 20th, 2025, an executive order that directs that no federal agency use taxpayer resources to censor or suppress constitutionally protected speech?
I don't know. Why did Donald Trump have the Lake and Riley Act?
Yeah,
Why has
walk me
Donald Trump
through
signed
that.
half the executive orders that he signed, which were already laws?
Well, why would he need to?
He doesn't, but he keeps doing it.
Yeah, so
He keeps
I mean,
he keeps signing executive orders that are literally just already laws.
so you think it was a law that before 2025, taxpayer money couldn't go towards censorship of free speech?
Donald Trump is currently using taxpayer money in order to censor free speech,
Well, he shouldn't be.
but he is.
Okay. I mean, I guess that's just something that we don't know. I mean, how? I mean, can you walk me through how? Like,
Dude, he is using the FCC, the federal commission that decides whether people get licensing for broadcasting, and his FCC commissioner is saying, if you don't say the things that we want you to say, okay, we will unequivocally go after you and use taxpayer money to shut you down.
but the FCC cannot legally regulate based on content under the First Amendment. I mean,
They
I don't see how he's
literally
getting.
are doing it right now, dude. Stop talking in a
I get that you
hypothetical.
think that.
They literally told Paramount that they would not freaking sign their agreement in order for their merger unless they took Colbert off. Then they turned around and threatened ABC with pulling their licensing, which they've already freaking had Kimmel taking off the air in multiple different cities. Okay,
Well, I think
if
we
they
can agree
because
that we
of
can
his
find
free
common
speech.
ground.
So why are you pretending like it's not already happening?
Well, I think we can first agree that there's common ground here and say that we're wanting the same thing. It's just who we vote for. We think will accomplish it, and that's the part we
No,
disagree.
sir. We're not talking about who will think will accomplish it. Joe Biden didn't limit your free speech. Obama didn't limit your free speech. Trump limited your free speech. Donald Trump said before he limited your free speech that he was going to limit your free speech. Okay? These are not hypotheticals. You voted for the person that is doing that. Okay?
Yeah, you don't think the Joe Biden administration, let's see, censored the Hunter Biden laptop story?
Nope,
and
sure didn't.
Told the FBI to do that?
Told the FBI to do what?
To censor the Hunter Biden
Sir, there was a
laptop?
2.5 year investigation in the Hunter Biden laptop that was literally on TV every single day. I watched it.
Really?
Yeah.
And what did they find?
They found a weapons charge in which he applied for a weapons license and lied about being a drug addict.
You don't think he was found with a possession of a firearm?
He was, but they found the
Yeah.
crime to be him lying on his application.
Okay, that's still wrong.
It is wrong. That was worth a 2.5 year congressional fucking investigation.
Why would he censor that story?
He didn't censor that story. I followed the story the entire time. The whole thing was broadcast on Fox News for 2.5 years straight. The entire investigation was on C-SPAN. What are you talking about? How is that it being censored? You could watch the entire investigation live on TV every day.
Mm-hmm.
How is that censoring it?
Yeah, because I think if the politician in power goes to the owner of Twitter and says, "Hey, please censor this story," I think that's wrong. And you're
but that's not what they asked him. That's not what they asked him to censor.
Yeah, what did they ask him to censor?
COVID misinformation that was killing people.
Well, I guess that's one of your, I guess not one of your, but that's one of that. Is it violence or is it not loose line? So I tend to be.
Sir, I'm sorry. You're just gonna have to hold on here, dude. If you are literally going to be on here, okay, I would like to actually have a genuine conversation. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're not having a genuine conversation right now. Okay.
Really?
Yes, correct. Okay. This is fucking ridiculous. Okay. Donald Trump has literally gotten Colbert canceled, gotten Kimmel canceled, is using the FCC to threaten people against that are freaking saying things that he doesn't like. Okay, he is passing laws trying to pass laws against First Amendment protected activities like burning the flag. He is literally getting rid of students and visas for them saying things that he doesn't like. He is compelling universities to speak the way he wants them to speak. He wants more right-wing people in private universities and is using federal dollars to compel them to do so. Making the argument that you are supporting Donald Trump for free speech is the most fucking disingenuous and most pathetic argument I have ever heard in my entire life. Okay.
Well,
if you had,
nice.
I didn't say I was going to be here to be nice. Did you hear me at any point say I was here to be nice?
I know you're not.
Okay, cool. I have been nice to you for the last 13 minutes on this conversation while you literally just tried to sidestep all of that instead of addressing it. Okay.
Just because my answers aren't what you want them to be doesn't mean
I want your answers to be honest, which you're refusing to do.
Well, you started this whole little rant by saying that my answers weren't genuine and you just want to have a conversation with me, and I just why really?
Was there a question in that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've been having a conversation. I think there's common ground to be found. We both are pretty much saying the same thing. I mean, maybe you're
we're not.
a little bit stricter on free speech because you think COVID misinformation should be banned. I say, maybe not.
Sir, I never said that I thought it should be banned.
Okay, well, then maybe we have more common ground than we think.
No, I just never said that.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's move on to your second point. How did Joe Biden try to take away your guns?
Yeah. How did he?
Well, I don't know. You're the one who said that you voted for Donald Trump because the left is trying to take away your guns. So I was just wondering how Joe Biden tried to take away your guns.
Yeah. Well, what laws have been passed regarding background checks when Joe Biden was in office.
You tell me.
Well, in the bipartisan Safer Community Acts in 2022, it was the first major federal gun legislation in nearly 30 years.
That's not true.
So red flag laws.
That's not true.
Really?
Yes, that's
Well,
not true.
I guess maybe major is a word that you're disagreeing with. So in the last 30 years, what was a more major
The
gun
bump stock ban.
legislation? The buck stop ban?
Bump stock ban.
But that's just a piece of a gun.
And mental health is what piece of a gun?
Well, we're
Background
talking
checks
about
is which piece of a gun?
It's so the
What
right
is
to own a
going on?
firearm is a right. It's not a privilege.
I'm sorry. According to who?
The Constitution.
Oh, and
That's
what does the
just
Constitution
country
say?
we live in. Which, I mean, maybe you're
I'm sorry.
right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What does the Constitution say?
Constitution say?
Yeah.
It says that the right to own a firearm shall not be
Incorrect.
infringed. Okay, educate me.
Yeah. Again, you have to start with knowing what the Constitution says.
I think that's a fair point.
Yeah. So again, what does the Constitution say?
I can look it up for you if you want, but
The horizontal's back up. Just took a second. So you've never looked up the Second Amendment?
I have. I just feel like it says the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
No, it actually says a well-regulated militia will not be infringed.
Being necessary to secure of a
Hold on. You're forgetting commas in there.
Yeah.
A well-regulated militia.
Mhm.
Then we describe a well-regulated militia being necessary to the free state. A well-regulated
Mhm.
militia is necessary to a free state.
Mhm.
Okay. The right of the people to keep and bear arms, which is a descriptor of the militia, comma, shall not be infringed. Okay. Now, if we use correct syntax when we speak about English, okay, the actual sentence is a well-regulated militia shall not be infringed. Okay. And then we have two descriptors inside of that say being necessary to a free state and the right of the people to keep and bear arms. Okay. But we've already found that within our legislature that, DC versus Heller, that already said the right to the state has the ability to restrict arms in the United States. So.
Yeah, so one, I don't think it's fair that when I say it's the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, you say, well, you haven't read the Constitution, because I think if we focus on that point itself, I think I did tell you the Second Amendment.
No. See, sir, you're saying it as the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Yeah.
I am saying the right of the people to keep and bear arms, comma, shall not be infringed.
Well, I don't speak in commas.
Well, the Constitution does.
I don't think it's a fair.
But the Constitution does.
Right. You have commas when you write and read things. I get that, but when you talk, you don't use commas.
Yeah. So it would be a perfect example. Okay. Like if I said this bottle, okay, being blue with a red cap is in my hand. Okay.
Yeah.
Does that mean being blue is in my hand?
I'm confused at the point you're making.
Because I'm teaching you English. Okay. Does that mean the color blue is in my hand?
No.
Does that mean the red cap is in my hand?
Honestly, I forgot the sentence at this point.
Gotcha.
Probably.
It means the bottle is in my hand. The bottle being blue, but a bottle, comma, being blue, comma, with an orange cap, comma, is in my hand. Okay? The bottle, comma, being blue, a descriptor, comma, with an orange cap, descriptor, comma, is in my hand. Okay? In my hand describes the bottle, okay? Not the orange cap. Okay? Because that's the way the English language works. Okay? A well-regulated militia, comma, being necessary for the security of a free state, which I completely agree with, comma, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, comma, shall not be infringed. Okay? When you take out that comma, it has a whole different meaning. Okay?
Okay. I mean, I just I think it's not a fair point that you made. I just
English?
but I just don't speak in commas.
English?
And you could have said, well, there should be commas there, and then we'd say, okay, well, where are there commas? But you said, well, it looks like you've never read the Constitution. So I just don't think it's fair.
Okay, well, if you don't think that you learning the English language is fair, then that's something we can do. But if you'd like to go with the Supreme Court, which I also said as a point, which also said that it is not anti-constitutional whatsoever to restrict firearms in this country, and that was done by a conservative Supreme Court, and that was actually led and written by Justice Scalia, one of the most conservative justices we've ever had on the Supreme Court.
Court's been wrong. I mean, Roe v. Wade. I can disagree with the Supreme Court.
Yeah, gotcha. So what now you're saying is the Constitution is wrong and the Supreme Court is wrong and the interpretation of the Second Amendment is wrong and all of the data that we shows on what they were actually talking about when they wrote it was there and over 150 years of precedent in this country when it didn't mean that there was just unlimited use of firearms within this country. All of that is wrong and you're right.
Well, I haven't said any of that. I just said that I have the right to disagree with the Supreme Court.
No, what you said was that it is a right to carry a firearm and it is not.
You don't think it is?
It is not. It is a privilege in this country.
Is free speech a privilege too?
Yes, actually, absolutely.
Okay, so we may just need to define
because there's many points in which people can take your free speech, right? Join certain organizations you can have your free speech taken, and free speech is definitely a privilege because it's finite, right? A right is something that is hard to be taken away from you, but it should be a right.
I don't know if you can ever be arrested.
I can show you how it's a privilege right now. You know how?
How?
Yeah, the federal government right now is taking away people's free speech.
Yeah, but they're not throwing people in jail for it.
Yet.
Just because you lose
your job. Did you say that free speech is a right so you can do it but as long as no one throws you in jail for it?
Well,
or is the federal government taking away your free speech and make it take away your rights? So are you saying that the federal government right now is taking away our rights? Isn't this exactly what people that read the Second Amendment say they're supposed to be, having their Second Amendment rights for? Is to rise up against a tyrannical government?
But who's been being thrown in jail for free speech violations?
Yeah, no one.
Yeah. So
I don't no one in the first few years of fucking Nazi Germany were being thrown in jail for anything either.
Yeah.
Yeah. It started with them just saying you can't do things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like go outside during a pandemic.
No, nothing like that.
No. Okay. No. But okay. We're a little off topic.
And so where could you not go outside during a pandemic?
When did I not go outside during the
When could you pandemic? Not? When was there a law when they would throw you in jail for going outside during a pandemic?
Yeah. So if you lived in New York.
Oh, so that's a state law, so not a federal law. Where in the United States, on a federal law, did it say that you got thrown in jail for walking outside?
There was no federal law.
Oh, okay, cool. Just making sure.
You are right.
And also in New York, you could walk outside without getting thrown in jail for going outside. So that's a lie.
But there was a curfew and like I know personally being in North Carolina.
So you're not even in the state and you're saying what New York was doing?
No, I mean, we can
literally, I have an entire very large group of New Yorkers who are calling you a giant liar right now.
Well, I can disagree with them.
That's not a disagreement. That's you just not knowing anything and them knowing stuff.
What
makes you, sir, what makes you think that just you being presented facts means it's like an agree to disagree situation?
Well, I think that a lot of times people may be very confident in what they believe and think it's a fact when maybe there's more to the story. For example, do you think it's a fact that there's been 330 school shooting incidents last year?
I don't know.
Well, according to like the education board, like the main site, if you look it up, there it's. So
I highly doubt that hold on. I'm sorry. What says that?
Let me look it up. It's just like the
hold on. You just said what I said. I would love to let's go see what that says.
Right.
Because I think you're lying.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do.
Well, let's focus heavily on this point.
Let's do that. Where can I find this point?
330 school shooting incidents. So the K-12 school shooting database.
And what is their authority?
What is their authority?
Yeah, who are they? I've never
let's see.
heard of this group of people. I don't know what they stand for. I don't know what bias they have. I don't know what authority they have to actually make that statement. So who are they?
And keep in mind, all of your stats, I haven't really questioned the authority. So, and I'm not even making the point that.
Well, I can give you my authority. Which stat would you like authority on? That's not difficult.
Yes. How is the Biden 2022 gun regulation not?
That's not a stat. Okay.
Okay.
That was your stat. What stat have I had?
Honestly, you haven't had a lot of stats.
Exactly. That's why I couldn't figure out what the heck you said. I did. You haven't checked my stats. I haven't given you any.
Right. So, basically, people say that there's been 330 incidents.
Who's people? And people say Sasquatch exists. People say that the Earth is the moon, or the Earth is flat, and that the moon is made of cheese, or that that real God is actually a giant bowl of pasta in the sky. Real people say all of those things, sir. I don't believe them either.
The point I'm trying to make is not that this stat is accurate, but actually that it's the opposite of that. That this stat is not telling the full story.
So you pulled an inaccurate stat to make yours proof that stats could be inaccurate? Okay.
Yeah.
I could pull inaccurate stats about a whole bunch of shit either. No. How about we just concentrate on accurate stats?
No, so
like the fact that there's been over 5,700 mass shootings in the United States in the last decade. How about that stat?
Well, it is a accurate stat. It just doesn't show the full picture. So I think it's very fair.
So now the stat is accurate?
No, yes, it is accurate.
Oh, wow.
But
I didn't have to do anything. Here we went from a stat that was completely inaccurate to a stat that's accurate. That's pretty wild.
No, I never said it was an inaccurate stat. I said it doesn't tell the full story.
Gotcha. Well, I wouldn't know because you didn't tell the full story.
Yeah, well, the full story is there's been like around 40. That if you include an active shooter situation, makes up less than 95% or more than 95% of the situations when there wasn't an active shooter. There's only been around 35 deaths last year when it comes to school shootings, which if you really want to look at the death rate, there's 45 million kids. And if only 30 people are dying a year,
there's not 30 people dying a year. That's a fucking lie.
And
because according to the Gun Violence Center and the CDC, it is gun violence is still the number one preventable cause of death in children in the United States.
Yeah, what do you mean by preventable?
I mean they didn't die of cancer. Cancer is not preventable. Do I really need to define the word preventable for you?
Right, but can you? My point is, how preventable is a school shooting? Is it 100% preventable?
Yeah.
Like if it was up to you,
100% is 100% preventable.
Okay. Well, maybe it is. I would say no. I think it's very sad that it happens, but we're doing a lot of practices to be proactive about stopping it, and
we are. You're right. Just like the Safer Community Act of 2022, things that are proactive in stopping it. You are 100% correct.
Yes, so I think that was the first major gun regulation. And that's why when you said, what has Biden done to put restrictions on guns, I bring that up.
And again, how did it put restrictions on guns, which I still asked you before and you didn't answer?
Yeah, so I can go through that. So it tightened background checks.
That's not a restriction on guns.
You don't think so?
No, I know so. Is there one gun that you cannot get now that you couldn't get before because you had to go through a background check?
Probably. I mean, maybe not.
What do you mean probably? No, the answer is, sir, be genuine. Like I said before, is there one single gun right now, okay, that you could get before, but now you can't because of a background check?
if there's one gun, I mean, I'm confused.
Well,
I
it
guess
sounds like
no.
it. Let me
If you
maybe I
if
can
you have a
break this
clean
all the
background
way
check.
down for you to where you can, you're like, I don't know how far I can break this down for you. Okay. Sir, if I want to go buy a gun, okay, today, okay, what gun can I not buy today that I could buy in 2021 due to a background check?
None. I'm just saying
Okay, awesome.
people.
So it's not a restriction on guns. So where's my restriction on guns?
Oh, I actually would support some gun
Not asking
restrictions.
you,
For
sir. I'm just
example,
asking where the restriction was.
there are, to answer your question, there are no restrictions on the type of firearm you can get with passing a background check, and that's
Oh,
where the
gotcha.
restriction
So it
comes
must
in.
mean that they're coming after your guns, and now you're not allowed to own like any guns anymore, or so like since it wasn't a type thing.
Well, it starts somewhere, right? That's what you were saying
No, it doesn't start
earlier
some. What
about
do you mean? What
Nazi
starts somewhere?
Germany. And
What starts somewhere?
well, earlier you said free speech is going to get taken away because
No, I didn't.
Germany started
No, I
with
said
just
free
telling
speech is
people they
being
can't
taken
do
away.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't say it's going to be taken away. It is being taken away right now.
Yeah, I mean, you have every right to think that. I just disagree with that. But I don't think we should fund red flag laws because while maybe it helps in some cases, I just think allowing the courts to remove guns from people they deem dangerous is a restriction that I don't want to be allowed on guns.
Yeah, Donald Trump
So
said
when
if somebody is even accused of a crime, even if there's no evidence or whatever, we should go into their house and take all their guns away just in case.
that's actually an interesting thought.
Hmm.
I'd have to think more about that.
Oh, gotcha. So you totally are against the courts taking away people's guns and them deciding
Yeah.
who can have guns or not. But if Donald Trump says the courts should go in and take people's guns, regardless of there's a crime or not, then now you have to think about it.
Well, no, because it presents the situation of you're convicted of this
No,
crime,
I said
and
not convicted, just accused. Donald Trump
yeah,
said if you are
accused.
accused of a crime, that we should be able to go in and take your guns away.
Right. So in the other situation, the Supreme Court can just deem whoever on the street dangerous. And in this other situation, it's if you're accused of a crime, then you can't have a gun. There's a little difference there.
Yeah, gotcha. So one of them, you actually have to be convicted of a crime and actually have the courts go in and actually take your guns away from you, which you said you don't like, right? And in the other case, Donald Trump
no,
says, oh, no,
only,
sorry. In the other case, I can just accuse you of any crime and the police have to come and take all of your guns away. And that one is a thought that you have to think about, for a while because you're not really sure.
Right. Well, if you falsely accuse someone, then that's a crime in itself.
It doesn't matter. You still don't have your guns.
Well, maybe you've changed my mind on that point, and that shouldn't be a restriction.
Gotcha. So again, what gun is restricted now that Joe Biden's been the president?
No guns.
Oh, okay. So there has been no
get.
guns restricted under the Biden administration. How many guns were restricted? What kind of guns were restricted under the Trump administration?
None.
Oh, the bump stock ban.
Well, that's a accessory for a gun.
Gotcha. So there was an accessory under Donald Trump, and there was none under Biden and none under Obama.
Well, I don't think that's a fair point to make. I mean, we can argue if that should be legal or not. And I mean, you can't have a tank, you can't have grenades. So I mean, there's room to kind of fill in some gray areas in order to make the country safer. But in general, I'm scared voting for a Democrat that they're going to tighten the restrictions on guns.
Do you know why that is?
But maybe I'm wrong.
You are.
Why?
Yeah. Because the NRA spends hundreds of millions of dollars telling you that.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know why they spend
do you know
why they spend hundreds of millions of dollars telling you that?
Why?
Because you're easily scared. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And because you're easily scared, every single time a Democrat gets in power, gun sales go through the fucking roof. And the NRA makes a shit ton of fucking money. Okay? That's why they spend so much money getting you scared of something that literally no one is trying to do to you. This is why they can get you to vote for bad economic policy, things that raise prices, decrease unemployment, has put us through the last 10 recessions. Okay, they can get for you to vote for horrific economic policies. They can even have you up on my live defending the president of the United States, taking away your free speech actively over something that's not even happening. Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad that you fell for that? I think it's sad.
Yeah, I mean,
personally, I think it's really sad.
So let's understand the point that you're making. So you're saying that the Republicans in power, the ones speaking at events, people like Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk, all of them are conspiring, and they're acting like they're pro-gun, but then when they get in power, they're going to create laws.
Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk are not in power. Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro are not in power. They're not. They're just YouTubers, dude.
Right. And
what the fuck are you talking about? They're victims just like you are. Yeah, they're just other people that get fooled by the hundreds of millions of dollars from the NRA just like you do.
Okay, so I'm right on that point that Republicans in power put on this facade their entire career about being pro-gun, and then Democrats have to put on this other act to be anti-gun. I mean, why would they do that?
No, they don't. The Democrats just say, hey, we want to have freaking gun laws that actually stop children from dying. Like actually put just enough, sir, just put enough restrictions around it for people to stop dying. And you guys go, they're anti-gun. They're not anti-gun, sir. They're just pro-logic. They're just pro-logic, okay?
Well, I find that a lot of times when Democrats like bring up these points, like regulations so that people don't die from guns, it's out of a good conscience. But like, what specific laws like do they want to pass? Like, I don't.
There's a ton of them. Yeah, there's all they literally do all the time. Why? You're not listening to any of them. Why would you listen to me?
Well,
Obama went on a literal freaking half an hour speech talking about how we need to be able to study guns, how we need to be able to use our powers of government to research things, to actually create fucking laws that can allow you to have your guns while also reducing killings in the United States. Obama went off on a huge half an hour. You can go pull it up on YouTube. It's an amazing speech. Okay? Amazing. All right? That you can go listen to. The Biden administration didn't really say too much about taking away your guns whatsoever. Just passed some laws like, hey, maybe we should make sure that crazy people don't have guns. And when they did that and said, hey, maybe crazy people shouldn't have guns, your response to that is, Biden is taking my guns. Do you understand where the problem is here?
I can see the point you're getting at. I think that we can't agree on this because you think that every Republican is just putting on this act to be tight on gun, and Democrats, for some reason that I can't explain, they're putting on an act to be anti-gun.
Sir, that's the words you just said. I again never said that.
Yeah.
The Republicans are getting paid by the NRA also. That's why they don't support gun control, because the NRA pays them not to.
The NRA pays the Democrats not to.
The Republicans
not to be pro-gun or to be pro-gun.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay.
I'm just trying to understand your point.
The Republicans get paid to not pass gun legislation and to tell you the left are taking away your guns.
Oh, okay. I see the point you're getting at. So it sounds like it'd be easy to find common ground then, because
it would be if you could just have it in your brain to have some logic. Then we could totally come to common ground. It would literally be so simple to come to common ground, like so easy.
Well, me and you. I mean, right now. I mean, why can't we agree on gun control?
Because you're arguing with me.
About what? What law?
I don't know what you're arguing. You literally, Joe Biden tried to pass some laws to make sure background checks were more solid and we didn't give it to crazy people. And you're saying that you don't want to support the Democrats because they're trying to take away your guns.
Okay, so that's a fair point. Red flag laws. Let's discuss that.
Why do we need to talk about just red flag laws?
That's just one example. Of
why are we just going with one example,
maybe we can find common ground on?
Sir, we don't need to come to common ground. I want to come to common ground. How about this? Can we come to common ground on this? How about this? Let's come to common ground on this. There are 33 industrialized nations on this planet, or what we used to call first world countries on this planet. Okay? None of them have a gun violence problem. None of them. Okay? None of them have a serious mass shooting problem. None of them have kids dying at a mass rate and have at the highest level of preventable deaths in the United States. No other country has to do school shooter drills at their schools. Okay? None of the 32 of the 33 other countries, okay, have all figured it out. Okay? Why haven't we?
Why do you think that is?
Because people like you are like, the Democrats are trying to take my guns away. And so therefore we never get to an actual logical solution to anything because you want to sit here, okay, and try to argue NRA talking points and let Republicans get paid by the NRA to let our children fucking die.
Yeah, well, I don't think I've really talked any talking points. I mean, I can. So, for example, let's take gun deaths around what 70.
Sir, you have literally been talking points the entire time. I don't know what you're talking about. Do you not realize you are? Is that what it is?
I don't get why you would cut me off there.
Sir, you said I haven't been talking any talking points. I have been on the phone with you for 3 hours. It feels like. Okay.
I appreciate it.
That wasn't a compliment. Okay.
I'm just saying I appreciate your time.
Okay. You have literally been doing talking points the entire time. Okay. Okay. But your talking points are you don't realize that you're even having talking points, right? You don't even and that's the thing. You don't even realize that you're talking points because it's so ingrained into you that it's just like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So, but anyways, I'm going to move on to the next caller because again, I've been on the phone with you for way too long. Way too long. But anyways, have a good one.
You too.
Bye. Y'all, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you guys would like to support the live, I do have super chats like I'm getting ready to read out right now. Oh, no, I didn't put that. Oh, that one should be coming up. I was worried that one hasn't popped up yet. The landscape live should be actually back up and clearly running now. I did an update yesterday, which is why I wasn't live on Twitch yesterday. So hopefully it actually holds up this time. I think it will, though. But it's been, oh my God, it's been rough. It's been rough today. We've been trying to keep everything going and I don't know what's going on. It's been wild. See if I can do it this way. Nah, I can't do it that way. All right, we're going to move on to the next caller. Keep this thing going. Brad Storm, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I really appreciate this. And hey, and, oh no, we're going back into the words masticating now. It means I'm chewing food. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. And Taurus, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. I really appreciate that. Big W's in the chat for Taurus for the 5 gifted. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Also, Cool Eric, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Sorry I can't put it up on the screen because I messed up and didn't turn something else back on. But it says, because I have a fully functioning brain, that's why I support Trump. Why don't you come talk about it and we'll go from there. All right, we're going to keep this conversation going, keep it going. Y'all, if you'd like to support the live, again, I do have super chats open, memberships open. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, they're all in my bio like normal. But more importantly, just make sure you guys are chatting in here, hitting that subscribe button, hitting that follow button if you haven't already. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Messed up and didn't turn something else back on, but
Yep.
this is because
All right. Y'all, if you're going to call in, please turn off the live when the phone answers. Okay? There is a delay and I do not want to hear myself. Hello, how are you?
Oh, hi, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I'm 32.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
No, but I do. I just came across your channel, and you were talking about firearm safety and all the regulations and stuff. And I just wanted to call and just have a conversation about it.
No, I'm not really interested, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, you said to call, so I apologize.
Oh, no problem. I just don't want to just stay on one subject for an hour. So just kind of boring
what's
for
the
everybody.
subject now, by chance?
It was, do you still support Trump? You already said no, so there's no, like, we don't need to go any further into this. Yeah. So anyways, have a good day.
It's insane.
Hello, how are you?
Oh my God, no fucking way. What's up? Wait, can I swear on here?
I guess. Sure.
Yo, it's Malthus. What up?
It's what?
Malthus. I was talking in the YouTube chat. Anyway, hey, that guy literally sounds ridiculous. So I get your point when you're talking about these gun laws, but the problem is regardless, there's still the factor of illegal gun sales. That it's like trying to outlaw drugs, right? So I hear what you're saying,
sir.
but
When we
at the end of
outlawed
the day,
drugs,
I don't.
when we
Go
outlawed
ahead,
drugs,
sorry.
then we had less of a drug problem in this country. Yeah,
We have
as we
less of a
outlaw
drug
drugs,
problem, is what you're saying?
as we outlaw drugs, we have less of a drug problem in this country. When other countries have outlawed guns, they've had less of a gun problem in their countries.
Like which countries?
Like every industrialized country on the planet.
No, just give me an example. Don't say
Germany,
industrial, give me
Italy,
an actual example.
freaking the UK, Japan, South Korea, freaking you name Portugal,
Yeah, but
Spain,
just because their
fucking Finland,
gun violence
Norway,
goes down doesn't mean
Sweden,
violence goes down.
Australia.
Yeah, but violence is still high regardless of guns or not.
Not as high as it was before, no.
Like, what do you mean as high as it was before? I mean,
UK
it's always
outlawed
been
guns,
bad.
and their gun problem almost completely went away. Yeah, which means their mass
Wait, which
shootings went
country?
away,
Hold
their
on,
high
so
levels of violence
say
went
again,
away.
Which country?
UK?
Okay, but the thing is, people are still going out and getting stabbed and murdered. And
Yeah, their
so
stabbing
you-
rate in the UK is still lower than ours. We have a higher stabbing rate per capita in the United States than the UK does.
Okay,
So they don't have the gun violence, and they still have a lower stabbing rate. But again, I already said I don't want to sit here and talk guns all day. Okay, I said to the last caller. Okay, but it's a ridiculous stance of saying outlawing something doesn't reduce it, because if that was the case, then there would literally never be a point for laws.
I'm just saying, I can agree with that fact, is it may lower it, but it's not going to shut it out completely. That's the problem.
Well, sir, if that's the case, then we should just make murder legal.
That's a little far-fetched.
Why? I mean, if we can't shut it out
jump.
completely, then we might as well legalize it, right?
No, I mean, that's super black and white, right? We can try our best as a society. Do we get things perfect?
Correct. And we can try our best as a society with gun control, and we're not doing that. You are 100% correct. We could try our best in order to actually create laws that reduce in this country, but we've chosen not to. That is 100%
you want us
correct.
to ban guns? Is that what you're saying?
Sir, why is everything just ban guns?
No, I'm
Sir,
just asking.
the last
I don't
guy
know.
said that
This
the
is the
Democrats are
first time
taking, sir, the last guy said that the Democrats are taking away your guns because we passed a law that said mentally fucking crazy people can't have guns.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. Look,
Okay.
this is the first time I've actually tuned into the show.
Thank you.
so I'm
I
not
really
trying to-
appreciate that. I hope you subscribe. I hope you come back another time, but I'm tired of talking about guns. So have a good day. If you call in and you're trying to talk to me about guns right now, I will hang up the phone.
It's insane.
WA, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, so we have a moral, cultural, and upbringing problem in the United States? No, we have a gun problem in the United States. That's what we have. We have a gun problem. Anyways, hello, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
28.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. What's on your mind?
On my mind, I got states' rights on my mind.
You have states' rights on your mind? States' rights to what?
Well, all right. I'm a little bit of an off-brand MAGA guy. Okay. I've been thinking about MAGA on my own for rather a long time now, and I genuinely think that Trump is setting up the baseline for what I think should happen personally. And it might seem accelerationalist in a sense, but
Oh God, not another accelerationalist.
I know. It's like that's what I know that some people have called me this, but
It's insane.
I personally view the 16th Amendment as the problem. It's the sole problem in this country, and I think it's the conversation that we haven't been having. And I think that that's what's causing our issues. And what I mean by this is that when we had the convention back in 1787, right, we didn't have like income taxes like we do now. It was more along the lines of property and stuff like that.
Oh my God, you're a sovereign citizen accelerationalist. God, fucking kill me.
Hold on.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Hold
What did I
on,
do to deserve
hold
this
on.
today, chat? What did I do to deserve this?
Hold on. Just hear me out, okay?
I really don't
Just
want
hear me
to. Can
out.
you get to the point?
Okay, the point is that apportionment, the apportionment rule isn't being followed with taxation.
Yes, it is. Okay, income tax is 100% legal. Okay, that has been upheld by the Supreme Court on multiple occasions, and on top of that, income tax is better for us, because the reason why we went to income tax is because we got rid of tariffs, okay, which were hurting us economically, hurting us on the world stage, reducing our ability to produce, reducing our ability to export. Okay, so we actually put in income taxes in order to expand our economy, and it absolutely fucking worked.
Right. Which I'm not saying that it hasn't, because there's definitely been benefits to this. But I also think that there are there are also implications with this that come along with it.
Everything has an implication.
Right, and
It's
everything's
insane.
nuanced with history, right? Like, it's not just all black and white. It's not just everything is perfect, right? We don't live in a perfect world. That's not reality. We live in a very imperfect world. But what I'm saying is that I think that we should be leaning more towards the states taking a lot more responsibility and taking up some of the responsibility that the federal government has, and doing it on their own, and trying to figure out ways where we can be able to cut, like the education. Education is one of those things.
And what do you want the states to do in education?
Well, to be able to have their own kind of standardized thing, instead of like having, with the federalized standardized testing, I feel like it's just like one straight line, and everyone has to march into this one door, and if you don't make it through that one door, then you can't make it at all. Like that.
Sir, literally, states already have complete control over their own curriculum, and they have varying standards of education within that. The only thing that happens with the federal testing is literally a bare minimum. And when you and if anybody's underneath that bare minimum, hell, people in many states like Mississippi and Alabama and Arkansas are much above that minimum and literally have zero chance of ever going to a community college. Okay. Like literally it is, can you bare minimum read at like a 5th grade level when you graduate high school? Like it is literally the lowest of lowest standards. Most of the standardized testing that kids actually go through is actually state ran.
Right. Well, I think that I feel like the educational standards in our country need to be raised. Like that's my argument.
But you're making the argument that the states need to do it, and the states already have the ability to do that, and they're not doing it.
Right, which I'm arguing that the federal state Department of Education kind of stops them from having that ability. By having it like federalized. It needs
having what federalized?
Like the Department of Education.
Sir, you're just saying the Department of Education has it federalized, and I'm saying what is it, and you're saying having it federalized.
Okay.
What are they having federalized? That's what I'm asking you.
Education.
What part of it, sir?
The standardized testing.
Standardized testing for the most part is ran by the states.
Okay.
What state do you live in?
I've lived in multiple states, but I live in Ohio now.
Okay, I live in Florida. The standardized testing in Florida is done by Florida. It's not done by the federal government. It's not done by the Department of Education. It's done by Florida.
Well, then my problem is the standardized testing. That's my problem. I just feel like standardized testing just makes everybody stupid. I feel like they're just trying to put us into this one little box where we have to succeed into this one little box, instead of expanding it and actually allowing people to have their gifts be actually explored.
Yeah, but the problem is that you're saying your argument is not, okay, if you want to have an argument against standardized testing, I'm 100% okay with that. I think standardized testing is fucking stupid. Okay? I think that freaking teaching kids in order to pass a test is dumb. I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
Okay? But your argument is not whether or not we should have standardized testing. Your argument is that we should send it back to the states, and it's already at the states. It's already there. You're complaining about the federal Department of Education, which doesn't do that. And you're saying we need to put it
Well,
in the
what
pocket
does
of the states
federal
who
Department
are
of
already
Education do
doing that.
then?
What?
What do they do then? What does
Mostly
the federal
funding.
Department of Education do?
Yeah, they do
Okay.
IEPs, stuff like that. Lots of money for disabled children, making sure that that children that are disabled have schools that actually fit their needs, right? Things like Pell
Okay, right,
Grants
and I'm not
and
against
different,
that.
federal aids. They do things like FAFSA, right? They have they guide and regulate like your federal loans and stuff like that, right? They make sure they're insured through
Right.
that. They make sure
Yeah.
that rural schools have the ability to exist, because do you know what schools are actually paid for out of?
I would assume the taxes.
What
but you
taxes?
probably wouldn't know than I do.
What?
I don't know. State taxes, probably.
Specifically property taxes. So where you have higher property values, you have better schools because more money is put into it. That's why schools in more poor areas are not normally as good. And one of the big problems you have with that is places like rural areas where there's not that many places around, right? Where their schools can't even exist. So they come in and they subsidize those schools to be able to make sure that kids in rural areas can have schools, right? They do things like subsidize things like Head Start programs, right? Things that help get kids ready for school as they go through. These are the things that the Department of Education actually does. None of the stuff that you're complaining about is what the Department of Education does. That's what states already do.
Okay, well then maybe my view is just a little off kilter. Maybe I can admit that. Like I'm willing to admit that I'm wrong, but I'm just saying that I just don't necessarily like the idea of a faraway land for like these people that are like 5,000 miles away from me, which is more like they're a little closer to me than that. But whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just like I don't like the idea of people making decisions for me and my education and for my children's education, which I don't have any children. But if I were to have any children, I don't like the idea of someone from far away making decisions about that. Now, and that's my whole gripe with that. I've viewed the federal government and I've watched them abuse their authority multiple times, and it's upset me greatly. And I do not like the idea that they just have an endless streamline of money going towards that. And I think that there needs to be something that like stops that, and it needs to be going more towards the states.
Again, sir, what is your there's tons of complaints I have about the federal government. Okay. But saying send it to the state doesn't help anything. Okay. While we have, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. Okay. I'll give you a great example. All right. Oklahoma and Mississippi are two of the lowest states in education in the United States, bottom 5. Okay.
Yeah.
And instead of using their money, and a lot of their money that actually that goes from the Department of Education is actually given to them from blue states, right? California actually, is a donor state, right? That actually gives money to the federal government. They don't get as much back as they can. So actually a lot of their money goes there, and they have a lot of rural areas, right? They, being almost last in education, both pass laws to make sure the 10 commandments are put in every classroom. Now, how do you think that helps their education?
Okay.
It's insane.
I was listening to what you were saying, but like that last bit, I wasn't able to fully comprehend.
Yeah, you're fine. They said that instead of passing laws and paying, maybe paying teachers more, maybe getting better curriculum, maybe anything like that, right? Instead of doing those things, they're passing laws to make sure the 10 commandments get put in schools, in every classroom. How is that helping their education?
So I'm for separation of church and state. Like if it's a public school thing,
I'm glad that wasn't my point.
I'm not like, I don't think that's like, I personally think that the message of Jesus Christ should be known. Like
sir,
I do.
Sir, that's not the point. I'm sorry. I want to redirect you to the point. The question was the states that have horrible education systems are passing laws about education that do nothing to help education. That was the point.
Right. So, and I agree. Like our state representatives need to be held to a higher standard. Like I agree. Like they need to be making sure that they need to be doing their job more efficiently and actually beneficial, and not necessarily just focusing on things that aren't necessarily going to give actual resources to the teachers or to the students or to the faculty itself. Like I think that should be their primary goal, is to figure out how they can get the most amount of money they can into education. How can they do that? That's what their goal should be.
Well,
but I don't feel like that's their
Let me
goal.
ask you a question. So Donald Trump is trying to get rid of the Department of Education. That means kids with disabilities probably won't have the ability to a certain level, especially within red states, to be able to get schooling, right? And if they are able to get schooling, they won't be able to get schooling at near the level that they were able to before. Okay.
So why can't the states take up that responsibility?
They can. Some states can. But not every state can. Because like I specifically said before, there are donor states and there are receiver states, right? So with states like California, big, large blue states that actually do very much concentrate on education, right? States like Massachusetts, very rich, #1 in education country, states that actually concentrate on that, will probably take their tax money, send it back to the states, and they will actually put those to make sure that probably a lot of kids have actually probably better education than they did before. Okay. But poor states like Oklahoma, Louisiana, Mississippi, these states that are already low on education, don't have the money to put towards that because they're already leeching money off of blue states to survive.
Right. So what do you propose we do to fix that? Because personally, I think that there's got to be some kind of
easy
an interstate compact or something that we can be able to do, that we can have I don't know if a hedge fund would be the right terminology, but that we could be able to put all this money that all the states, in a sense, like the free parking lot in Monopoly, where you pile all the money, and when the states need something, they can be able to direct it towards that specifically. There's got to be a way to do that, because I feel like I don't know what is stopping us from actually having real education and having real resources going to that. There's got to be something that can boost that. And
Sir, hold on. Just real quick. So you think that there should be a pot of money that's all donated in by all the states, right? And I'm just trying to I'm trying to just repeat what you said so I make sure I didn't get it wrong. Okay? That's all. You think that there should be a pot of money, like a slush fund, okay, that can all go in from all the states, and as states need it for things like education, especially for kids for disabilities and stuff like that, they can pull from that pot of money. Is that what you said?
That's basically it. Yes.
That's what the Department of Education does. That is literally the entire point of the Department of Education. The entire point of the federal. Hold on, sir. The entire point of what the Department of Education does is exactly what you are describing that you want. That is exactly what their entire their whole point is, to take tax money from all of these states, put it in a fund, and then disperse it to states that need it, regardless of how much money that state has.
Where it is in the hands of the feds. That's you're missing the point. Dude.
So you want exactly what the Department of Education does, which they do very effectively. The federal government,
but I want it in the hands of the state.
The federal government doesn't do. The federal government does very little effectively. This is the one thing they do really effectively. So you want to actually do exactly what the federal Department of Education does, but you want it at the states, which completely ruins the point, because you said you wanted a giant fund from all the states in one spot, so it cannot be state ran if it's coming from all the states. That's the point of the federal government.
But you missed what I said earlier, was an interstate compact on that. I'm not talking about the federal government.
You mean like the Constitution?
Yes, like the Constitution. So we can be able to have something that we can bypass the federal government and not have their hands in our pockets.
Sir, the federal government is an interstate compact. That's what it is. Sir, the entire point of the Constitution is an interstate compact. Okay, yes. It's 50 free states, okay, that have a compact with each other, okay, that certain things for the betterment of all the states need to be ran by a singular entity, i.e., our military, right? Our military in this country would not work well under each state trying to get their own little piece in. It needs to be a federally run program where all the people and all the money comes from all the states, and an interstate compact is that we will support the military and the military will protect all. That the interest of all the states, and cool thing like the Department of Education and the military, the states get to send their representatives to make decisions, okay, to give the states
Right.
representation to be able to support those federal programs. That is why we have people that sit on Congress on boards for the military, while we have people that from each state that sit on boards for education. All right. Literally, sir, what
Right.
you are describing is literally the entire point of the federal government.
Right, but I still feel like you're not really understanding my point.
Oh, I am understanding wholly. I am.
So what
I
is my
holistically
point
understand
then?
this entire
Explain it to
thing.
me then.
You want exactly what the
Explain it.
federal government does to be done by something not called the federal government,
Yes.
but does exactly
I
what the
don't want
federal
it.
government does.
Yeah, but I don't want the federal government in charge of that. I just
Sir,
don't
whoever
trust
did
them.
it,
They have literally
Yeah.
broken my trust.
whoever
so many
did it,
times.
whoever did it would just become the new federal government.
What? Say
Yeah,
that again?
if you got rid of the federal government and then had a whole group of other people do the exact same thing that the federal government was doing, that's still the federal government. You're just changing it.
Okay, I'm not following.
I
So
that is unfortunately very aware to me.
so what you're saying is that what my proposal is just wrong because it's the same thing as the federal government, but it's just not the federal government. Right?
Exactly. Well, it actually is the
that's
federal
why it's
government.
wrong.
It actually is the federal government.
Right, which I just don't. I have said that they have proven themselves to be
No, sir,
unworthy of our
that thing
trust
that
with our
you're
funding.
creating
They
in
have-
your
they've
head
proven
is
themselves
still the
unworthy,
federal
dude.
government. That's what I'm trying to get across to you. That thing that you're inventing in your head is still the federal government.
Right, but it would be state led, and it wouldn't be.
You
involving
can't
the Fed.
state lead for all. Then who leads it? All the states
I don't
individually
know.
lead one group project? That's
No,
called
the federal
Congress.
government would still.
That's
the federal
called
government would
Congress.
still be in charge of it. You'd have to understand it. The Congress would have to be the one that allows this in the first place. You have to understand.
If you
that
got
Congress
all the
would be
states
one that would
together
allow it.
in like an
And they would be the ones that
compact,
actually allow hold on. They would allow the states to be able to do this, and they would be able to. It would be under their permission, and it would be under their oversight, right? So it's still there, right?
Yeah.
It would just expand it.
That's
It would just
Congress.
essentially expand
That is literally Congress.
Yeah.
That is why we have things like the Oversight Committee in Congress, because it is Congress's job within this interstate compact to oversee the processes of the thing running all of those, which is the federal government. The states send representatives to the
So do you trust the feds with their money? You having a stroke there, bud? Really? It's super sad that you're just not able to comprehend basic shit.
Oh, goodness fucking gracious, dude. Okay.
All right. So do you trust the feds with their money?
All right. I think you actually broke me for a second. I think you actually broke me for a second. That's okay.
I know.
All right.
I know. I see that.
Yeah. Sorry. It is absolutely the most insane thing ever that literally you are just describing the federal government. And you're saying that the federal government, sir, stop talking for a sec. Stop talking for a sec. Okay. You are literally describing the federal government and then telling me how you don't like the federal government and saying that we need to replace it with literally exactly what our federal government is. And it's the most laughable and like I wish I thought you were trolling. Like I truly wish I thought you were joking. Like that you were just like up here to fuck with me. Like, and that would be like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like that'd be whatever, but like you're not. Like, and you're like dead serious, which is just, it's just the most this is just the most insane I do this 6 days a week, hours a day, every single day. And I have just never been part of such a ridiculous conversation.
So can you just answer one question for me?
Sir, I have answered so many more questions than I should have.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate that you can't just answer a basic question that I've been asking like 3 times now.
All right. Well, I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings by that. But I'm going to move on to the next person.
I don't care. Like,
well, it sounds like you care, and it sounds like your feelings are hurt, okay? So, but I will say, sir, you are doing a group, like, I will agree with you this, all right? Whatever we're doing with our education system is 100% failing us, and I think that this conversation more than proves that. So, off of your original point, I will 100% agree with that point. Okay. So have whatever day, and goodbye now. Okay. All right. Dude, I don't even know, dude. That was wild. Y'all, please make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I don't even know if my brain can even like fathom another. I'm going to give it a shot. We'll see. Adam, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Said definitely don't support Don Trump. Thank you for the show. Thank you so much, Adam. I really appreciate that. Cool Eric says, with the $20 super chat. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I really appreciate that. Says the UK doesn't border South America, which has the largest drug dealing organization in the world. To compare the UK to the United States is a terrible comparison. See what's happening to the UK. Now you get arrested for Facebook posts. Literally, we're on the way to be doing that exact same thing. And that's actually a completely misnomer of what's actually happening in that country. But second of all, I didn't compare it to the UK. He compared it to the UK by him asking me which countries to have this exact thing. And I started naming countries, and then he chose the UK. I didn't make that comparison. I personally would have chosen a country more like Japan, but it doesn't matter which country you choose. The point still lasts. But thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I really appreciate that. And Cool Eric says, good people do not kill people with guns. They either protect with guns or they go hunting or something along those lines. Yeah, I agree with that. The problem is that we allow way too many bad people with guns to have guns here, and we don't do anything to stop it. OS says, "Cool, Eric. If now people are being put in jail for Facebook posts, would love a source for that. Then what would be that would be on the Trump administration." Thank you so much for this, OS. He's actually referring to this like complete bullshit thing that's happening in the UK. He's not even talking about something happening in the US, right? But again, he's worried about UK's laws and how they work and stuff like that. But literally, Donald Trump is trying to literally implement the same thing. Like literally. Like literally, the Attorney General of the United States said that they are going to prosecute people who say things that they don't like on social media. The Attorney General of the United States just said that. So I don't know what Cool Eric is talking about. Oh, here's Cool Eric again. Thank you so much for that, OS. I really appreciate that. It says, okay, thousands of people have been arrested in the UK for social media posts. I'm sorry, I confused you with stating Facebook specifically. I already addressed that, but thank you for the $5. Lovely said it's like they run head first into the point. Dude, that dude could not have hit the point harder. If that dude had hit the point any harder, he would have became the point. Okay? That dude, the point was right there and just hit him as hard as he could, dude. That point couldn't have hit him any harder if his freaking life depended on it. That was wild. Anyways, thank you so much, lovely goddess, for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate that. And just to write, thank you for all the jewels. I'm only going to throw this up once, but thank you for all the jewels. I've seen all of them coming through, so thank you so much, just to Ghost Rider. I really appreciate that. All right, we're going to move on to the next caller. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I know we've had some problems with the horizontal live today, but if you guys would like to have a little different aspect, I do have a horizontal live over here on YouTube too. That's going on. So if you'd like to support me over there, that's a great place to come hang out too. Plus the chat is a lot calmer if you're into that. Plus the chat is a lot calmer if you're into that. But if you'd like to support, I do have super chats open. I like to put them up in between callers. So if you'd like to support the live, it really does mean a lot to me. Also, I do have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all in my pay links. And they're all at Polypolitics, just like my name. So thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Insane.
How old are you?
52 in about 3 days.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Oh, never did.
Oh, smart man. But I am only looking for people that support Trump right now, boss. But I hope you have a good one.
Man.
Yeah, sorry. I'm running short on time for the night, so I really gotta keep it quick. It's my late starting night. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm well, thank you. Thank you so much for answering the phone.
Is this like a robocaller? What is going on here?
No, I'm not a robocaller. I just have one of those voices.
Yeah, you also have really bad reception, so it's kind of breaking in and out. Do you think you can get someplace with a better reception?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I was laying down, so that's probably what it was. Is this better?
It's insane.
Not really.
Okay. Can I try and call it again?
Sure, I'll let you try. Do you support Trump?
Hello?
Do you support Trump?
Okay, now I can tell it's breaking up.
All right. It does sound like AI, isn't it? It definitely sounds like AI. Bro, that has to be AI. That has to be a robot. There ain't no way. Hello, how are you? Someone said she sounds like Siri, dude. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
22.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do, yeah.
Awesome. What's on your mind?
Yeah, so I don't know, it's interesting. I'd be interested to hear your take on sort of, I feel like a lot of people kind of support Trump right now, more so because there's not really an alternative to vote for to support. So I'd kind of be interested to hear what your take is on that.
What do you mean there's not an alternative? There's a million alternatives.
Well, yeah, there are, but when it comes down to voting in a primary election or even like a mayor or gubernatorial race or Congress or Senate, there's really two realistic options. So you can either choose to not participate in the system entirely or vote for a Democrat or Republican.
Yeah, first of all, there was tons of people within the Republican primary that ran against Trump. So you had all the choices in that. And then you had the other party, which was also better. So I don't really know what you're talking about here.
No, but dude, yes, technically, yes, there are. But, it's the same in the New York City mayor's race right now where, fine, there's a Republican candidate running, but there hasn't actually really been a Republican candidate taken seriously since Giuliani. So it's yes, technically there's a Republican candidate, but that's not really in the question.
Right, but that wasn't the case for the presidency.
But in the same way that when you're voting for president, a lot of people did not necessarily vote for Trump, rather than they voted against Kamala and a lot of the kind of policies that Democrats have been pushing nationally.
Like what?
And I think, you see a lot of Democrats lockstep. Just, resisting crime enforcement.
Whoa, what policy resisted crime enforcement?
I'm talking about like the national crime crackdown, like you see, Republican
We took
governors
crime.
trying to make it.
Crime was literally at like freaking record lows under the Biden administration. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but that's because they changed the FBI reporting standard. It's not like a Republican conspiracy. That's like an actual fact.
No, sir. They actually changed it, and they actually had a lot more reporting from those cities. And of the reporting of those cities that they had, crime was significantly down. Yeah, it wasn't a reporting issue, sir. It was actually freaking reporting data, and it was actually that is true. That is 100% true.
That's just a blatant. That's just objectively not factual.
Okay, so then where's the objective facts that says that I'm lying?
I mean, I would have to comb through and actually go about finding it, but like I'm just saying, dude.
Well,
like,
I have the
you look at stuff
actual
like that.
FBI website where you could actually see any reporting procedure changes, and you can actually see that what actually we saw was actually a higher level of reporting. So I have the actual FBI policies and the actual FBI stats and the actual FBI data. So
Okay, fine, whatever.
You
Fine.
tell me how I'm objectively wrong.
Okay, fine, whatever. I can see that point, whatever. But it's a repeated pattern of people in urban centers and across the country not feeling that that's the fact. And like, fine, you can say that that's maybe that's fear mongering, whatever. That's propaganda from Republicans. If that's your belief, fine, you can say that. But it comes down to a simple thing, like when you're trying to run a campaign, you have to give something.
Yeah.
You have to give people something to vote for.
Yeah. That wasn't your point, sir. And we need to stay on the point for a second, okay? You said now you're just saying now you're just saying it's people's feelings. So you went from it's democratic.
The first point
sir, you went from it's democratic.
The first point that I made, sir. The first point that I made is that there's no alternative for a lot of
And
people.
yes, and then we were discussing that. Yeah. But you said it was actually democratic. You said it was sir. You said it was resisting democratic policy. Okay, I'm asking you what democratic policy. You have not named any democratic policy, and now you are saying it's because people feel. Do you hold on, sir? Hold on. Let's hold on. Let's finish up talking. Be quiet. All right, I'm gonna mute you in about 3, 2, 1. We are talking about crime. Then I'll be more than happy to move on to immigration with you. Okay. Stop trying to pivot in the middle of my sentence. Okay. Do you know that since the year 2000, we have done polls on people and how they feel about crime? Did you know that?
Just make your point, dude.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. How many years since the year 2000 have people said that they felt like crime was up in the United States?
Like, just make your point.
No, that's no fun. How many years do you think?
Just make your point, dude.
No, I'm good. Answer the question.
Like, I don't know off the top of my head.
How many do you think?
How many years in like what poll are you referring to? Like, that's a very broad.
All right, awesome. Well, if you actually polled people and across almost all polling since the year 2000, every single year since the year 2000, people have felt that crime is up. Okay, every single year. And except for a very small handful of those years, like maybe 3 years, crime was actually down in those years, right? Since the year 2000. But every year that crime goes down, people still feel like crime is up. Okay, so what you went from is saying, no, sir, you said I could go ahead and make my point. I asked you to contribute. You chose not to. So now you can be quiet.
So
now you can be quiet. No, sir, now you can be quiet because I asked you to contribute. I asked you to contribute and you didn't want to, so now you can let me finish my point.
Okay, so make your point.
Yeah, I'm going to make my point. So anyways, what I was saying was people feeling a certain way doesn't actually amount to much of anything. So all you're saying is that the Democrats didn't pass any policy that was anti-crime, and you're just all up in your fifis about crime, okay? So that's all it was. So now if you'd like to move on to immigration, you're more than happy to.
So here's my point about crime. If you look at the Bay, I think it's the Oakland or the Bay Area Economic Council, it's something like that, the Oakland Economic Council, a crime study on Oakland. When you look at the results of the surveys that they did and the data they gathered, 64 people in Oakland's urban area felt unsafe going to work. Dozens and dozens and dozens of businesses left the urban area of Oakland, the downtown area, because when you look at the days, you see this in cities across the country. You know, there's a very popular example recently of the Ukrainian woman who's murdered on a bus. the guy was let out of prison 14 times. You look at the people in New York,
Mhm.
I think it's something around 80% of crimes are committed by 10% of the population, repeat offenders. What happens over and over and over.
Thank you for
is
proving my
there's-
point.
How prove your point?
You're literally proving that even though we have the statistics to show that crime is not up, that people look at things on television and then they feel a certain
Yes.
way. Okay,
No, sir,
and that is what we
sir,
call
the
fear
point-
mongering.
sir,
That
let
we
me
were.
finish, let
No,
me
sir,
finish, let me
I'm
finish.
not. I'm
Let me
no.
finish.
I'm
The
good.
point
No,
that I'm
I'm
making,
good.
sir-
I'm good. I'm good. Okay.
This is unbelievable.
I don't care if you're, sir. No one's forcing you to. You don't let me finish
I let
anything.
you finish your point. Can I
You don't let me.
can
You didn't.
let
You haven't let
finish?
me
You
finish
cut me
a
off in the middle
single.
of my sentence.
You have not let me finish a single sentence since I've been in this entire conversation. Okay, so thank you so much for proving my point. Okay, and saying that people just feel a certain way, but you're saying that people are voting against Democratic policies. Okay, and yet you have not shown a singular Democratic policy whatsoever that was done by the Biden administration, that was done by the Obama administration, or anybody else's. Actually, what you're seeing is their actual crime policies actually help to improve crime. Okay, that's the reality of the actual situation. So again, for the second time, okay, for the fourth time, I think I've actually asked you. So, what is the actual Democratic policy that you're voting against? Okay. What is the actual Democratic policy that you're actually voting against? Okay. That increases crime.
That is a flip of what I'm saying, and I see what you're trying to do. I'm not saying that there's Democrat policies that directly cause crime, obviously. I'm saying that the policy platform that you see a lot of Democrats in power run on, you see this in as I said, big cities with DAs letting people out of jail over and over, getting rid of cash bail, having no sentences. You see California raising the shoplifting limit up to $1,000. Look at what's happening in Santa Monica right now. It's the highest retail vacancy rate in over a decade.
because $1,000 in
all
California
over
is
California.
very small in compared to $1,000 in other
Insurance
places.
companies are leaving the state because of one, fire mismanagement. Like you look at the homeless.
Sir, I live in Florida. There's almost no insurers here, and that's a Republican-run state. Insurance
That's
companies
because
leaving the
it's
state
tornadoes,
has.
dude. I'm saying-
Sir, we don't have tornadoes in Florida.
How can a state?
We don't have. Yeah, that's happening in
hurricane?
Arizona.
Fine.
That's happening
Dude,
in Texas.
nitpicking-
We're seeing insurance
But
companies
okay,
leave
so
in all
you
sorts of
asked
different
me-
states,
you
sir.
asked me
Okay,
to make
but
my point
no,
about
sir.
policy,
I'm asking you to
and
make
you're
the
doing it
point,
again where
and you're
cutting
not
me off
making the
in the
point.
middle of me trying to make my
Okay,
point.
sir. If you just want to
I
cry,
was in
then
the middle
please
of
leave,
listing-
sir. If you just
Sir,
want
I
to sit
was
up here
in
and
the middle
cry,
of listing
sir,
policies.
sir,
I was going down the
sir.
list,
No,
and you
you're
are now
not.
interrupting
You're
me
whining.
again.
Okay.
What are you raising? What do
You
you think
are
raising
whining, okay?
the
What you're
shoplifting
complaining-
limit to get
sir.
arrested for is? That is a
That's not to
policy
get
enacted by
arrested for,
Democrats
sir.
in
Sir,
power.
that's not even to get arrested for it. That's not what the change was.
Fine, felony categorization, whatever.
So
They
you
raised the
knew
legal
what you
limit.
were saying was a lie, and you still chose to fearmonger on
That's
here.
not a lie. I'm trying.
No,
I'm
it is. You
actively
literally,
having a
sir.
conversation.
You literally just said
What
it
are you
changes whether
talking
you
about?
could get arrested or not. And then when I said, actually, that's not what it is, and they're like, well,
What-
actually, it's the felony designation. What's the designation in Texas, by the way?
What do you think?
What
do you
is the
think- do you
number
really
designation,
insane.
sir? What
Do
is
you
the
think
what
that
is
when
the
people
felony
listen to you
designation
and
in
they
Texas?
say-
What is the number for the
someone
felony
try to
designation in Texas?
catch a victory over someone misspeaking and saying a arrested versus
Sir, what
a
is the
felony-
number for the felony designation in Texas?
That's just like that's
Sir, what
Do you
is the
really
number
think-
for
read
a
the stat,
felony
dude.
designation in Texas?
it's like it's just crazy, bro.
Are you not going to answer the question?
Every time I try to make a point,
Okay,
you
I will
just
make the
interrupt me
point.
in the
I
middle
will.
of
I
it.
will make the point for you. It's higher than $1,000. Okay,
Dude,
it's like $2,000 for a felony designation in Texas. Texas, which is completely Republican ran and runs completely off of Republican policies. Okay,
It's just not-
but you're making the
that's just
designation
exactly
right
not
now
true.
that
Dallas, Fort
California,
Worth,
because they raised it from
Houston, El
$500,
Paso,
because they
every
raised it
major
from
city in
$500,
Texas
because they raised
is
it from
ran by
$500. Okay, because they raised it from $500 to $1,000. You say, "Oh, California is a horrible place because they raised the designation," even though in Texas it's like $2,000. Okay, but you don't say that Republicans are anti-crime enforcement because they did that, do you?
Hello? Hello?
What?
Okay, so can I continue?
Are you going to respond to what I said?
What was the culmination of your point?
There wasn't a culmination of
cut
my point.
out.
There was just a singular point. You should have been listening. Texas is
Oh,
already
you keep
higher than
talking over me
California.
more.
There's
Okay.
there's multiple Republican states that are in the United States that are that have a felony designation higher than $1,000 or $1,000 or higher.
Yo, so I think this is kind of pointless going back and forth over these things because it's very clear to me that we're not going to kind of
Sir,
reach
you
an
are
agreement
no,
over
sir,
this.
sir. This is back to your whining,
please
and I
let me
don't
make
want
my
to hear
point?
your
Can you-
whining. No. I said
Sir,
a thing.
I'm not
I want you to
whining.
respond.
I'm trying to.
Sir, I want you to listen and then respond to what I said.
Who
Okay?
do you think you are, dude? Can you please let me speak?
Yes, you can speak when you respond to what I said. Okay?
And that's what
There
I'm
are
doing, and you
multiple
are interrupting me
there are
constantly.
multiple Republican states in the United States right now that have a felony designation of $1,000 or a higher designation for it to be a felony than $1,000. So why do you
What-
not
like,
blame,
I don't,
sir?
I
Then
don't-
why
like, I'm
are you?
not
See,
talking
this is
about
what. See, remember how I said that you haven't let me finish a singular sentence? Here we are again. Okay, you want to get mad about being cut off, but you have cut me off on every sentence that I've said this entire conversation. You want to be able to, sir.
time
And
I
here we
try
go
to
again.
speak,
And here we go again. You want to be
Dude.
able. You want to be able to cut me off whenever you feel like it. But when I cut you off back, you want to whine like a petulant child. So my advice to you is, okay, if you can't dish it, if you can't take it, then don't dish it out. Okay.
Dude, this is
Awesome.
crazy.
So here's the last time I'm going to try to make my sentence. You will be quiet while I say it, and then you will respond to what I said. If you mess up either of those, I will hang up the phone. Cool? You said it is Democratic policies like raising the felony designation from $500 to $1,000 in order for it to be considered a felony theft in California. But there are multiple Republican states in the United States right now that felony designation was already at $1,000 or it is actually higher than $1,000. So why is it when Democrats do it, it is that Democrats are soft on crime, but when Republicans do it, Republicans are strong on crime?
Can I make my point now? Can I finish what I was trying to say initially? Hello? Okay.
It's insane.
Basically, the point that I was trying to make before you interrupted me for
All right, I gave him the exact rules. Be quiet, let me finish, and respond to what I said. It weren't difficult rules. They're actually some of the easiest rules we've ever had. Super, super easy rules. Y'all, make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Oh, Glizzy Glock said, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, I'm a Republican, but I appreciate
It's
your open
insane.
conversations. Thank you for being a good American. Thank you so much, Glizzy Glock. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. See, I have lots of Republicans that follow me. There's tons of them. Oh my goodness. Just a ghostwriter. Thank you so much. You were just killing it on the jewels. I have to get through all the jewels to even get to where I'm going over here. Dave the train guy. How you been, Dave the train guy? I really appreciate that. So I'm currently stranded to the car company and having a dead battery. Want a train fact? Dave, if you had taken the train, then this wouldn't have been a problem. How's it going? Big W's in chat for Dave the train guy. And Shay, thank you so much for the $50 super chat. Said thank you for all you do. Love your show. Huge W's for the huge $50 super chat from Shay. Thank you so much, Shay, for that. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Terrell, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, have you ever thought about doing a debate episode on Jubilee? Yeah, not really. I watch Jubilee. Some of them are amusing, but for the most part, I think it's kind of, whatever. But thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that, Terrell. All right, we're going to actually get to a caller that can actually engage in the conversation, hopefully. And then that'll probably be my last one for the day, but we'll see. Let's see if we can get one that can actually engage in the conversation. Hello,
Hey,
how are
I
you?
made it back.
Oh, it's AI is back. Hello, how are you?
You walked out.
Nigger.
Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello. I'm doing pretty good.
That's awesome. How old are you?
I'm 37 right now.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. What's on your mind?
You just still think that we need to get more church and religion in the school system.
We should get some better phones in this system.
No, we need to get church, faith, and religion back in the.
Well, how are we going to get them there without decent reception? I heard T-Mobile has better towers.
Well, I also heard that people that just.
Sir, I can't understand half the fucking words you're saying, dude. It sounds like you're talking to me from the other side of a tin can and a string.
But how's this? Is that any better?
Oh,
Since
so
you're just
much
sitting
better.
around wasting time and messing people's faith and beliefs up?
I'm messing people's faith and beliefs up. Well, if I mess up your faith and belief, then I don't think you had a very strong faith or belief to begin with.
Also, I know for a fact that if God and religion was back in the school systems, a lot of our issues wouldn't be like this.
Hail Satan! Hail Satan! Can we get 666 in the chat and a Hail Satan? Can we get a bunch of 666 in the chat and a Hail Satan? Let's see this chat fill this up.
Doesn't believe in making fun of people.
Oh,
right?
God, sir, I feel like I'm in hell right now.
Oh, well, I mean, you know, as they keep saying, you gotta profess things and then it'll come to life.
All right, I
So I'm
profess
guessing
that
you just
talking
want
to
to be
you
enjoying
is literal
burning
torture.
in hell with everyone else.
Sir, hell has to be more fun than this conversation.
No, it's not.
It has to be, because this is about the
Because
worst
let's see
torture
here,
that we
you
could
just want
possibly
to sit
get.
there and preach to people. So let me guess, your type of hell would be getting basically effed in the face by Satan for all eternity.
That sounds like
where you
great-
can't
that sounds like a
breathe and
great
it's all
time.
agony.
Oh, he's gonna make me choke. I like it.
Oh, so I guess you're gay and you're lesbo.
I'm gay and lesbian. That's pretty impressive.
Oh, so I guess also when you have that gonorrhea and everything else too, you're
Satan
going to
has
be loving it
Satan
too.
has gonorrhea.
I mean, it's
You would
not
think
positive. It's not religious.
You would think you would. I mean, I didn't see that anywhere in the Bible. To be completely honest with you.
Well, also, everything that comes from God is positive. Everything that isn't from God.
Satan comes from God.
No, his actual
Satan
faith
comes
and
from
his
God.
desire,
Satan
then
was
prove it.
created by
Prove
God,
it.
and you
What
said
scripture? Tell me what scripture
did
right
God
now.
not create everything?
Tell me what scripture.
Yeah, in the beginning,
What
God created
reference?
the heavens and the earth. God created everything, including the angels. And since the concept of Lucifer, which actually isn't biblical, is actually a fallen angel, then God created that. And you just said all things from God are good,
It's
so therefore
still
Satan is
not
good.
what
So
I
again,
asked.
hail Satan!
What scripture?
Hail
What
Satan!
scripture? You want to live by the
May
book?
the God of
then
the
you gotta
Underlord
preach the
come
book.
up and save us all. You
You got to remember, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You live by the
Satan's
messed
sword?
up tongue, you're going to die by it too.
Satan's sword?
It's insane.
I mean, you're talking to a preacher's
Heyo.
kid and a miracle
Heyo.
child that was dead in the womb
Heyo.
and came back to life.
Heyo. Satan's gonna use his sword.
So I'm guessing.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next call because I do want to get one in. Dad, I might not be able to get one in, man. These freaking children are wasting my time. Tobin, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I really, really appreciate that. With the 666. With the 666 for the Hail Satan up in the house. Hello?
Hey, are you still on about the topic of Trump?
Yep.
Okay. What are some questions you could ask me about?
I don't want to
I'm
ask
not
you any
100%
questions.
This whole Trump thing.
Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, and I love niggers.
Okay. What else?
Nigger, 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 nigger.
And? Where'd you go? Guys, I'm letting you know right now if you're like cruising through or whatever. I get called the N word by like 3 Trump supporters a night. Okay, you're not original, and it does not bother me. Okay, you're not original, and it does not bother me anymore. Okay, sorry, should have tried that 2 years ago, but that'll.
What, 2 years ago when I was still doing pretty good?
Yeah, it literally does not faze me anymore, dude. Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm not a Trump supporter. I was just watching. People are getting mad that you're interrupting, and misinformation has gotten us this far where we have someone who can't pronounce acetaminophen telling us it's dangerous, so you should be interrupting people spreading misinformation.
Hey, look, I'm more than happy to engage in conversation, but if you're just gonna think you're gonna just say some bullshit and then carry on your sentence, then we're gonna talk about it. That's all I'm saying.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah,
People
if you're
are
gonna say
getting mad.
some,
They're like, well, why is he asking them not to interrupt?
yeah, if you're gonna say some bullshit, then we're gonna stop in the middle of that bullshit and we're gonna address that bullshit right there, straight up. Don't think you're gonna say some crazy shit to me and then just carry on like that shit was normal. You must be out of your whole fucking mind. Like we got.
Thank you for what you're doing.
I like this caller. W's the chat for this caller. I needed that right now.
Oh yeah, no,
I
you're
needed
doing
that.
great. I'm watching you in the chat. You're doing great.
Well, I really appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Okay.
You too.
Yeah. See, and this is why I actually have quite a few callers quite a few people here that are Trump supporters that follow me, that are members and subscribers and all sorts of stuff in my life. Because there's something about just addressing the. I think this girl Tiana. I think
It's insane.
I think this girl Tiana might be the AI caller. Hold on, she literally put in the chat, dude, I'm not AI. Hold on. She literally. Is that you that's been calling in? Bro, there's no way you're not AI. Is that really you? I'm waiting for her to respond. Bro, she might actually be a real person. That's it. Thank you. Hold on. Where'd they put it? Sorry. Yeah, that's exactly what AI would say. I'm not AI is exactly what AI would say. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I trust it. I don't know if I trust it or not. I'm not sure. I'm not positive. This feels like a trap. It's a trap. She did sound. I was in theater for 4 years. Oh, well, thank you for your service. I really appreciate that. Are you the actual literal voice for the call answering service for like Geico? Jay Lee, thank you so much for the $13.666. I really appreciate that. God, which one were you? Because I wasn't going to take another caller, but I feel like I didn't answer the phone. Call right now. I don't think this is the number. Hello?
Hello.
No, you're not it. Hello?
Hello?
No, not you. Hello?
Yes, hello?
No, not you either. I know it wasn't that. I think it's this one. Hello?
Hi.
Is this Tiana?
It's not. I'm sorry. I'm a completely different person.
Oh, I'm trying to find AI girl.
I'm sorry to disappoint. I know, joke. I'm not AI.
Yeah, you don't sound like
but-
AI at all. That's no fun. I'm trying to wait for her to call in because I was gonna, since I did hang up on her twice, I was gonna call in and talk to her another
Yeah.
time.
I'm
But-
not her, so feel free to hang up. If
I'm
you wanna
sorry.
keep
Please
waiting
call
for her.
back. I'll be back on Saturday morning. Call back then, please. I appreciate you guys. The only person I want to talk to is AI girl right now. All right, hold on. Hello?
Hey, I'm not AI.
Are you the same person?
I don't know.
You sound less
Yes,
AI
it's
now.
me.
Say
I was,
say
like,
thank you
really,
for
really
say thank
nervous
you
at
for
first.
calling
I was
movie
like,
phone.
Oh my God, people are going to hear me. But yes, I support Trump. I've been trying to say this for like ever.
Say like in your just normal voice, like thank you for calling movie phone.
Thank you for calling movie phone.
Oh my God, it is you. Oh my God, that's so
No, it's
creepy.
not.
Oh my God, that's so creepy.
I need to be
Holy
paid.
shit.
Okay, if somebody is using my voice, I need money.
Bro, you are hold on. Hold on one sec. I got it. Cause I wasn't even gonna take another caller. I'm like really supposed to get off and I'm supposed to go eat because I have to be up early tomorrow.
My call. I've been trying for a minute.
Hold on. I'm gonna save I'm gonna say this as AI, so if I talk to you, I don't like hang up on you. Hold on.
I
Not
appreciate that, but
not AI. Okay, that's what I just saved you as. Not AI. I don't normally I don't normally save people, but I gotta make sure.
100% not AI.
All right.
I can say potato.
You did say you were going to say potato in the chat. All right, fine.
Yeah,
Well then, how about this? I don't have a lot of time, but since I did hang up on you multiple times, okay, I will let you make 1 point. We'll have a conversation about it, and then I got to get off the night. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All
Thank
right,
you for
go for
taking
it.
my call.
Absolutely.
Okay. The reason why I support Trump is because I feel like I kind of got pushed out of the left, for having what I feel like are common sense views. And I'm gonna just go ahead and fast forward. It's on the whole trans debate and, women who say they're women are women, but I'm a woman. I'm pregnant now with twins. And to me, anytime I brought that viewpoint to the table to anybody on the left, I was immediately shelved with saying, you're this, you're that. But in reality, I'm literally just a person with an opinion. And I felt like I was pushed under the Trump umbrella. And I was like, so where he stands on that issue, like, I think there's nothing more insulting to a woman than a man coming to me and saying, I know what it is to be a woman, and you can't tell me I don't. But I
don't know what it's like to be a woman.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But I'm
And
not a
so-
woman.
Right.
But
and so
but
then
I think that you're making it I think you're confusing like a few different things here, and I'm just gonna be honest with you, okay? Like and just be honest. First of all, no one's forcing you into anything, okay? No one's forced. How if you? I'm sorry, I don't think I asked you this earlier. How old are you?
I'm 27.
You're 27 years old. Okay. Do you know who Bad Bunny is?
Yeah.
Okay, I had to think of somebody that's, an entertainer that's a lot younger than me. Okay. Is Bad Bunny his real name?
No.
Okay. Is he an actual bunny?
No.
Okay. Are you forced to call him Bad Bunny?
No, you're not.
But do you?
Yes, I do call
Okay.
him Bad Bunny. And
Okay,
I see the point that you're trying to
maybe
make,
his
but I'm
name
gonna
is
let you
maybe
finish.
I don't know what his actual real name is. I'm sure I could Google it. We're gonna say his name's Alfred. I don't fucking know. Okay. But you have no problem calling him Bad Bunny because he just said, "Hey, I just wanted you to call me Bad Bunny," and we're like, "Cool." For someone more my age, it'd be like, Dr. Dre, right? I have no problem. Oh, it's Benito. See, a bunch of people in my chat know his actual name. I'm still gonna call him Alfred. I don't care. He looks like an Alfred to me. Okay, but it's no different from like calling like Dr. Dre. He's not even a doctor, right? I wouldn't trust him to do anything. All right. When trans people say like, "Hey,
It's insane.
I conform." Okay, I want to conform to the social norms of what women, associate in the United States. Okay, they're conforming to what we consider as womanhood. Okay, that's not saying that they can have children because there's lots of there's lots of women that are biologically female that can't have children being able to bear children is not necessarily a trait of what we would call a woman, right? Like we have people in the in the United States that are born with multiple, sexual organs, right? And they're still assigned a gender at birth, right? And we don't think anything about that, right? So it's not that no one's trying to take your womanhood from you. Okay, if you are a woman,
that's not exactly how I feel.
Okay, well, what is how you feel? Because that's kind of how I heard
Let
it.
me better articulate what I'm trying to say. Okay, so, and you say that nothing is forced, and like I get the point that you're trying to make with Bad Bunny. Like I'm choosing to call him Bad Bunny, but he's a performer. This is understood. I understand he's not an actual bunny, but my problem comes in where I work with somebody who is trans, and Morgan used to go by Greg, and I respect Morgan. Okay, I choose to call Morgan by their chosen name, so I don't want this to feel like, their experience isn't valid. And I hate when people say "but" after things like this, but I don't think that we should limit what a man is by saying, like, I hate that Morgan felt like they had to transition to feel like they were worthy, but God made them perfect. And if Morgan wants to do the things that women do normally in society, that's perfectly okay. And that is acceptable as a man. Now, whether or not, because if you say, you know what, I'm a woman, I want to identify as a woman, I am not just the clothes that I wear or the makeup on my face or the shoes I wear. I mean, to me, that's almost insulting.
Do you wear makeup?
Yes, I do wear makeup.
Why? God made you perfect.
And I do believe he made me perfect, but he didn't give me everything. Okay. So
well, I'm just saying, I wear glasses. God didn't make me perfect. Right? Like my vision's not perfect. Like some girls, in order to conform more to some women in the United States, right? Not saying you, I have no idea. I have no idea what you look like at all, right? So, but I'm saying, like, I have friends of mine, right, that in order to better conform to what we consider womanhood in the United States, right, have had breast augmentations, right? Sometimes, larger, sometimes smaller, right? In a way to conform to how in the United States we view womanhood. Right. I mean, if you even want to look how we consider beauty in this country, right? It's all subjective and it changes consistently. Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
100%.
And so when we're talking about someone conforming, we do lots of things that are what's considered gender affirming care, right? Botox, breast augmentations, dyeing our hair, right? Plucking our eyebrows, right? Wearing glasses can even be considered. There is a reason why I wear these glasses and not different glasses, right? Because I feel that these glasses.
But if you did wear different glasses, that'd be okay.
Of course it is.
Still be a man nonetheless.
Of course it is, right? But what I'm saying is we have these standards that we have, right? These standards that we have are all made up by culture, right? They're all made up by culture. Within our society, we decide, hey, this is more masculine and this is more feminine, right? And we all kind of come together in that and we change as we go. All that's saying is for someone that is born out of, within a biological male, right? Saying that I want to conform to what us in our society consider a woman to be, whatever that may be to them. That's really all it is, right? I want to conform to the standards in which our society has created for women. That's it.
But see, then the only problem that I have with this, and I know it's okay, but what's the actual problem? So then, I was actually forced out of a Planet Fitness because there was a man who, I'm just going to say he was a man, okay? He came in with a 5 o'clock shadow with purple lipstick on and his wig in a bag. And I was changing just in the women's locker room, just, getting down to it. And then in comes the man on his phone and he sits on the bench on his phone the entire time. I go out, do some exercises, forget to my locker, come back. He's still on his phone in the corner, bag. Still has his wig in it. Still, and then he's got a curling iron set up and I'm just like, whoa, what's going on here? but I can't say anything to anybody because then all of a sudden you're a bigot. Why are you saying anything? You should be accepting of this, but where do we draw the line?
It's insane.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
I'm walking around and I'm also pregnant, so I'm like out of breath.
I'm sorry. I change in locker rooms all the time. I go to the gym consistently and I end up changing locker rooms. Guess what? I'm pretty much, there's always some person in the locker room that's making me feel uncomfortable, but they're not bothering me. Okay. They're not bothering me. Right. There is 100% chance that every single time I go to the gym, there is an 80-year-old guy who has decided that he is going to dry his toes, okay, butt naked with his whole booty hole out facing directly at me, okay? And it is very, very awkward and makes me feel very, very uncomfortable, okay, every single time. But they're not bothering me. I put my head down and I just go change, right? Sometimes like usually facing like the lockers, right? So like I'm not doing, I'm not making someone else feel uncomfortable, right? So like, but I'm not trying to like, I'm not trying to how do I say this? I'm not trying to say that the discomfort you feel is wrong or that the discomfort that you feel is not valid, okay? If you don't feel comfortable with something, that is fine, okay? And I think that as a society, we need to change the way that we do things. Like, personally, I'd like to see all
the way
locker...
we have conversations.
Right. I would like to see just like all locker rooms just go to not a giant open room so I don't have to see freaking Cletus's, like whole thing. You know what I'm saying? But like
we could have single stalls, and then the thing is, it's like, okay, so
minimize.
I did not mean to cut you off. But it's like, okay, Polly, I see you. Okay, you're a big, strong man. Okay, so when you go into the locker room, I'm sure that 80-year-old man, he don't stand a chance if he really tries to step to you. Right? But see, this man,
I would hope not.
A lot bigger than me. I hope not either, unless some things swing and they really can hit you. But I mean, I think you're good.
Yeah.
But that man, that person that came into the bathroom, let me give this person the benefit of the doubt. If I were to say anything or have any other opinion, I can't say anything or even have a conversation with this person because immediately it turns hostile. In that hostility upon trying to have conversation to better seek understanding, because, I've talked to Morgan. I think Morgan's a great person. And I also hate that Morgan felt like, who they were, wasn't enough as they were.
Of course they were enough.
They felt like they had to change.
Of course they were enough.
They were enough. And they're super.
They know that they were enough. That's not a confusion. They're just making the outside match the inside. Okay. Again, something that we all try to do, but let's also be very clear. I want to address another point that you said in there, right? I really do need to address that. Okay. And I don't know, like, I don't know if you're, like what size you are, but there's probably women out there that would be in that locker room that could probably whoop the shit out of you and do the exact same thing. And if you actually look at the statistics and the data, there is a lot more data to show that, unfortunately, me, who's dressing in the other locker room, is much more likely to hurt you or do something to you than any trans person is going to, right? I mean, statistically, right, you're much more likely to be, assaulted at church by a member of a clergy. And I don't mean like slightly more likely. I mean, overwhelmingly, like, I think it's like freaking like, 20 times more likely to be assaulted by a member of clergy at your church than you are by any type of trans person. I think 20 is actually kind of low. I'd have to look at the data again, to be completely honest with you. But just because someone's in a locker room makes you feel uncomfortable, and I'm not trying to diminish the fact that you feel uncomfortable. If you feel uncomfortable, that is a valid feeling, right? But I think you're feeling uncomfortable for the wrong reason, right? Like you're assuming that person inside of that room is trying to hurt you. And honestly, to be completely honest with you, as a woman, you probably have every right to believe that men are trying to hurt you. We've honestly done a very bad job of proving that we won't, right? Like
and
just,
so how do you
just
tell?
statistically,
like, as
just
a woman,
statistically, You know what I'm saying? I'll
Because
tell you.
there
I'll tell
are
you this how I
men.
tell. I'll tell you this how you tell. And
Okay.
this is my opinion. Okay, this is not data facts. I work in data and facts normally, but this is not data facts. This is my opinion. Okay. Anybody that was trying to harm you wouldn't be walking in there very openly in the open day with a wig in their bag. Okay, that's a really, really, really bad way. Okay, I would assume to try to sneak around hurting someone, right? The person that's trying to hurt you is going to be the person that's not being open about it because they're trying to do something nefarious, right? And people that are trying to do things that are nefarious aren't going to just be like, oh, I'm trans, so I'm just going to walk into the locker room and do something, right? And again,
Not necessarily, though.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. But again, no, that sign is not stopping anyone from walking into that locker room. You know that, right? Like if
No,
somebody wants
yes,
to hurt you.
I do know that. I know that.
That sign is not stopping someone. If somebody
doesn't
wants
stop
to do
anybody.
harm to you, they're going to walk right
They're
past
gonna
that
do it.
fucking sign and they're going to do it, right? And
Absolutely.
I'm just saying nobody needs to transition or be a trans person or conform to different standards in order to do that, right? They just can, right? So we need to trust our system that people are not trying, that we are here to stop people that are doing harm, right? No one is going to go through years of therapy and the medical treatment, the gender affirming care, and sometimes surgery, right? No one is going to go
But not
through all
everybody
of
goes
that.
through that, though.
I'm
is
sorry?
what I'm saying. I said not everybody goes through that, and I'm not saying that. And my thing is that who is taking on that expense of trusting the system? Because it's not men, it's us women. And so I'm not saying that every trans person who walks into the bathroom is going to assault me. I don't believe that. I would walk into the bathroom holding Morgan's hand. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. But when you crack the door, you let everybody in. And I think there are bad people in this world who will say I'm trans to get their foot in the door.
Yeah, but statistically,
when they
it's
are
not happening.
not
But
under
it's not
bad intentions, and women assume that risk because if I'm being honest, you know, men, I'm sure, you know what, I'm not gonna brag, but I'm a little muscular, but I still, as strong as I am, I cannot beat a man. Period. Okay, I'm just being honest.
But there's also a chance that a woman
strong,
comes
my
in
dad's
there.
a bodybuilder.
But there's also a chance a woman walks in there and hits you over the head and takes you and sex traffics you.
Okay. But if that was going to happen, that's going to happen to a woman.
Exactly. And if it's going to happen, it's going to happen with a trans person. There is always a chance that somebody is a bad person. And there is always a chance that that bad person is going to do something. That 80-year-old guy, I know you think I'm like a big, strong man, right? There's a chance that 80-year-old man, right, pulls a freaking weapon on me and freaking takes me and freaking, you know, next thing I know, I'm freaking, you know, in a bathtub with my kidney missing. You know what I'm saying?
See, I mean,
there's
we could say,
always
like, you know, okay,
a chance that
if
a
bad
bad
things are
person
going to happen, they're going to happen.
But that is exactly what it is. Bad people are going to do bad things, right? But when we look at the data, when we look at violent crime, when we look at sexual assaults, when we look at all of those things, right? It's not trans people in bathrooms that are doing it. It's just not. It's not trans people in bathrooms. It's not trans people in locker rooms that are doing it. It is cis white Christian males, right? That is the people that are doing it. Just
pretending to be trans who will go into the bathrooms and will do these horrible things.
Why would they pretend to be trans? Why don't they just walk into the bathrooms and do it anyway?
Because, you know, we're supposed to be more tolerant and more accepting of these things. So you might see it, notice it, but because you don't want to be, you know, the bigot on the street, you're not going to say anything. So then they come in and they keep coming in and you don't, and then they build some trust and then it could happen. I mean, I might be a really paranoid woman, but
sounds like it.
I mean, it's
because what you're saying could happen could also happen right outside of that gym door where they just meet you at the elliptical and they build some trust, and then next thing you know, bing bam, thank you ma'am, and you're gone. Everything that you're describing happens outside of a locker room every single day in this country.
But a locker room is a more intimate setting. Okay, I highly doubt, like, if I was going to be groped, it wouldn't be on an elliptical. It would be in passing in a locker room. I mean,
Ma'am, if you're
it doesn't
groped
have to
inside of
always be
if
so
you're groped in
outright.
passing in a locker room, I advise you call the police and have that person arrested, regardless of whether they're trans, not trans, male, female, man, woman, whatever it is. If somebody gropes you in the locker room, you should call the police.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that doesn't increase your likelihood because the person is trans. Okay. I have lots of people I know that are trans, right? People that I call friends, right? It sounds like you also have people in your life that are also trans, right? And just like those trans people are just people trying to live their everyday life who are not trying to hurt someone, who are not trying to be negatives on other people's lives. Okay. Just like the straight people or cis people or whatever's around you, most of them are not trying to do anything. I hope everybody around you, right, are not trying to do those horrible things. Right.
And
But
it's not
someone
every
being
trans
trans does not
person.
increase that likelihood. Someone trying to use the locker room that conforms to their gender does not increase that likelihood. And actually, like I said, if you really want to look at it, it actually decreases your likelihood. I'll tell you this: I have a 14-year-old daughter, and I'll trust her with fucking every trans person that I fucking that I know or I've ever met before I trust her a day inside of a fucking church. And that's just fucking facts. And that's just fucking facts. Okay.
And that's okay. That's okay. But I still feel like being able just to have this discussion was good for me, because a lot of the times when you have a different opinion from what is widely accepted on the left by most Democrats, if you have anything that opposes that, all of a sudden you're incapable of empathy, of reason, of logic. And it pushed me so far from the left. I wouldn't even say I'm super right. I would say I'm pretty center right leaning, but being made to feel like my opinion is evil or invalid, and trust me, my opinion doesn't necessarily have to do with trans people. It is people, cis men, who pretend to be trans. But then it's like, how do you know?
I'm sorry. Have you ever met one of these people?
Yes.
You met a cis man that's pretending to be trans?
Oh, no.
Neither have I.
Not that I knew of.
Neither have I.
Neither have I. But there
I've
are. I mean,
never.
there are
I'll be honest with
cases
you.
all around
I've never even heard of one. Like
okay.
I've truly like, and let's be completely honest, right? Like I spend a lot of time in right wing news, you know, like in all sorts of different, like listening to all sorts of stuff. I feel like if there was a straight man who was pretending to be trans in order to hurt a woman, I feel like that is all I would hear about ever for like months on end, but I've never even heard of it, which makes me think it's not fucking happening. Like, cause trust me, if one instance of something happens, being in the position that I'm in, I hear about it consistently. I hear about it over and 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 over. And I watch things like
So
Fox
what about-
News and stuff like that to make sure that I catch up on, and I don't even hear it on there. But hey, AI girl, I am going to have to let you go because, like I said, I took your call because I had hung up on you. I've been on without 23 minutes with you, so I do have to get off so I can actually be at work tomorrow morning because I have stuff to do. But thank you for calling in. I hope we had a good conversation. All right.
Thank you, Polly. I appreciate it.
Have a good one. All right, OS, thank you so much. It says, as a trans person, I want to transition despite society's view on trans people because it will align with my sense of self. I hope that I didn't say anything, OS, that was offensive to you. I hope that wasn't you correcting me on anything like that. I try to handle that the best that I can. So I don't think I said anything too wrong. But thank you, OS. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. And Stacy says, so cis men are the problem, but let's use that as a reason to villainize trans women. Makes perfect sense. I'm so sick of this. Yes, Stacy, I completely agree. Like we know who the problem is. We know who the problem is. I don't know why we keep pretending like we don't know who the problem is. We know who the problem is. It's it's cis men, and I'm a cis man, and I can still say we're the problem. It's not really that hard to figure out in your head. But thank you so much, Stacy. Sorry, I was looking for another comment from OS just because I do like. Oh wait, I just saw it. Ah. No, you're Gucci. OS said no, I'm Gucci. Then I'm Gucci. Thank you so much, Stacy. I appreciate that. All right, cool. I do my best. Hey, but I'm always open to feedback. If I ever fuck up anything, please let me know. I'll be more than happy. And Lay, thank you so much for the $2 Venmo. Says 666 Hail Satan. Thank you so much. I will be back on around 10 a.m. Saturday morning. I'll be off tomorrow. I love y'all. Hit that follow button. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys later, all right? Love you guys. Bye.